Hey, Black woman, hey. I had no idea or desire to record a live stream, and I recently found out, like 30 minutes to an hour ago, that Nipsey Hussle was gunned down in California 6 times and he has passed away. And Nipsey Hussle was a black rapper. He was from California. He grew up in the hood, became successful as a rapper. He is, I don't know, engaged or in a relationship with Lauren London, who has one of his children, I believe a son. And then Lauren London has another child by Lil Wayne, and I believe that child is also a son. But Nipsey Hussle only had Lauren Hill at, not Lauren Hill, Lauren London as his children's mother. So Nipsey Hussle has passed away. And yes, this is a platform for Black women. This is a little corner, little space that we carved in the YouTube landscape for Black women. So obviously, I'm going to tie in Nipsey Hussle with Black women. I don't really do good with death. I'm not that type of person. Like, I really don't do death. I really don't do gruesome topics. I don't really do um I really just don't do things like that. Like, I can watch horror movies. I don't really do bloods and guts because I think it's just overkill. I'd rather be mentally stimulated with thrillers, with psychological thrillers, make me think something, but I'm not sure, make me second guess, but I'm not really into bloods and guts. I've never been into bloods and guts. I avoid bloods and guts. um, that's probably the reason why I couldn't work at the medical field because I can't do blood and bodily fluids. It's just not for me. But anyways, for Nipsey Hussle, these are the three things that I want Black women to take away from this situation. Now, I don't know the details. No one knows the details yet because this is a fresh murder. No one knows what has happened. But what we can assume, maybe assume is not the word, but what we can understand is that Nipsey Hussle, a black man from a black neighborhood, low income, crime and violence. He is gang affiliated. He's a part of the Crips in Los Angeles. He reps his gang affiliation. He has been gunned down before, and he was gunned down in front of his business. Now, he has changed a lot since fatherhood, since becoming in a serious relationship. He has really been pushing the narrative of giving back to your community, building up your community, staying true to your community, and so on and so forth. So, with his grown man coming into himself, being a responsible member of his community, he didn't want to just jet and go to the burbs or go to Calabasas or go wherever he could go. He wanted to implement some changes in his community. Again, we don't know the details, we don't know what happened, but it is, in my opinion, safe to conclude that this is not just a random freak incident. Now, yes, bad things happen anywhere. You can get gunned down in the suburbs, you can get gunned down in rural America, you can get gunned down anywhere. But statistically speaking, his character, his history, his association, where he was at the moment that he got gunned down, it is pretty safe to assume that whoever or the group of people, it could be a person, it could be a group of people who gunned him down, was probably people he either knew or people from his environment. I don't think a random bandit of white guys in a car decided to shoot him down. This is not no Jussie Smollett suspicious story. I'm pretty sure, mm, judging by history, if it's not people he knew, it's people who was around the situations that he was around. It's not some random situation. Some people are saying, well, he was trying to put a documentary about holistic living and holistic health. Maybe the government was targeting him, blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. Because, people love conspiracy theories, especially black people. Black people love them some conspiracy theories because it makes them feel good about their position they are currently, involved in life. It makes them feel good. It's a conspiracy. There's obstacles. There's this and there's that. Why I can't do this and why I'm prevented from doing that. So having these conspiracy theories makes black people feel good. It's an explanation. When Jesus is not enough, go conspiracy theory route. So, what black women can learn from this situation? Three things. I want black women to pick up from this situation is that people, first, before we even get into that, I don't subscribe to the notion of you're not popping or you're not cool or you haven't made it until you have haters. I don't subscribe to that. And I don't want black women to subscribe to that because words are energy. Words are spirit. There have been tests done about plants who've heard negative words versus positive words, and the one plant that heard the negative words didn't grow or died. And then the ones who heard positive words or positive words were said while it was growing grew pretty well, better than the plant that was told negative things. Same thing was done for water, and they examined the crystals of the water, and the water that was said positive things was able to form crystals pretty pristine versus the water that was told negative things, and those crystals were all types of jagged and crooked. So I say this to say is words have spirit. This is the reason why when we're on Twitter or Facebook or wherever we are, we're like, oh girl, edges on fleek. I see you. Oh girl, you looking like a whole snag. Okay, melanin magic. There's an energy exchange. Yes, I'm flattering you up. Yes, I'm giving you an ego stroke, but it's positivity. Versus I'm like, oh, you could lose more weight. Oh, you balding. Oh, you're not even cute. You dark skinned. Those negativities knock you down. So words are spirit. You have to be careful what you say because what you say will build the person that you are. A lot of kids can tell you, especially kids who come from messed up backgrounds, they can tell you that when they were growing up, their parents said there was never going to be nothing. They regret having them. Their parents always berated them. And what happened? 9 out of 10 times, those kids became what their parents said. So words are very powerful. Words hold a lot of weight. What I say is what creates my reality. What I say is what communicates to the next person. What I say builds how I view myself and how I relate to this world. So words are very powerful. And words are used for spells. Words are used for spells. Words are spells. Say the right thing, I get the right reaction, I get the right vibration, I get the right energy. Say the wrong things or a negative thing, I get a negative vibration. I mean, for y'all who are church folks, I don't judge. I'm not churchy myself. You already know. But when doing your church thing and hallelujah, praise God and Jesus, you catch all types of holy spirits or holy orgasms, whatever. You catch them. But if we were at a seance and we're here saying Hail Satan, there'd be another frequency. Whether negative or positive, that's not the point. The point is words have spirit. Words have the energy connected to them. So what you say creates your reality. So I've never subscribed to the thinking of, oh, I need haters. I need people to jock me. I need people to be of hatred of me. I've never subscribed to that because the way I view life and the way I view myself, I want us all to come up. I want us to all glow up. I want us to all stand on 10 toes and be flourishing. I've never wanted to be the head chick in charge. I've never wanted to be the head honcho. I never wanted to be, oh, I want to outshine y'all. I've always wanted to all of us be together. All of us be on the same plateau. All of us get it together. Whether it's financially, mentally, sexually, physically, educationally, whatever. We all glowing up and we all prospering. And that's always been my motto. I've never subscribed to that I need haters thing. Because when you got haters, you got problems. When you got haters, you have people who have malicious intent. And when they have malicious intent, they not only prey on your downfall, but they make that happen. You think a hater's just sitting online saying, oh, you ugly, or you think you cute, oh, shut the heck up, or you're never going to be nothing? No. That energy manifests and it sits in them. Oh, she going to be at this spot? Oh, let me slide through with my homegirl. I got a homegirl who could hold a razor underneath her tongue. Since she thinks she's pretty, I'm going to give her a makeover. What you said. You need haters to be popping. You need people to dislike you, people who want to do you harm to be popping. It reminds me of Ice Cube. I believe it was Ice Cube, another black male rapper. He said, I didn't have a record until I got a record. And what he was saying was, when I portrayed this gangster hood, spawn of Satan character, that's when all these negativities came my way. That's when I had problems. That's when I had enemies. That's when I had police at my door. That's when I had investigations, when I was carrying on this energy. And a great example of this is Tupac. He went from digital underground to death row, and now his body is in a cemetery somewhere. When you talk that talk, what? You got to walk that walk. You can't just talk it and not live it. Eventually, you're going to have to portray that. Act 6ix9ine right now, he's in federal prison. You talk that talk, you eventually going to have to walk that walk. So you got to watch what you say. You got to watch the vibrations you carry, the energy you surround yourself with. Because eventually that will become you. Eventually, gradually, that will become you. So you got to check yourself and check the people around you. Check your mental, check what you thinking, check what you saying. Check that. Because that will build the reality that you will currently find yourself in. So I don't subscribe to I need haters. I don't want haters. Haters can stay the heck away from me. I don't need to feel like I'm successful and I'm doing big things because people hate me. If anything, reach out to me and ask me, how did you do that? How did you finesse that? How did you figure that out? I'm more than willing to share the information. There's no need to hate. Trust and believe that. I might be slick with the mouth, but I don't have ill intent. Next subcategory. Like I heard, I'm not going to name drop, but like I heard from one particular media, I guess you could say new black media outlet, he said, N-words are only as loyal as the last time you fed them. And he's right. A broken cock is right twice a day. He's right. When you're in that type of environment where it's dog-eat-dog world, where emotions can't survive, you got to get chores, F everybody else, I take what I want. Not only do you stunt your growth as a human being, but you lack certain emotional intelligence, certain compassion traits. Like, you got to be able to turn that on and off. Everybody wants them a hood dude. Everybody wants them a savage. Everybody wants them an alpha male, until you really get into a presence of those types of people in the environment that they had to be raised in, and the mentality they had to have to flourish into this being. Then you realize, oh, it's not as fun as you thought it was. You thought you was going to have you a Bonnie and Clyde situation. Now you're figuring out it's more like Tina Turner and Ike Turner. It's more like this dude is devouring you. But now you are codependent, so you don't want to leave him. You think you could change him. Meanwhile, you actually changing yourself. He's actually changing you. But I don't want to get too preachy. I don't want to get too preachy on this live stream. But yeah. People are as loyal as the last time you fed them. And it's not just hood dudes or dudes who grew up without being nurtured and watered. Just people in general. People ain't going to work for free. People are not working for Trident Gum. You're going to have to actually invest in some. There has to be some type of reciprocity. Period. Loyalty is based on something, a mutual trade-off. Symbiotic. It's a mutual trade-off. So you want to be the head honcho. You still want to kick it in the hood, and that will be the next subcategory. You want to kick it in the hood. You want to be affiliated. You still want to be down. You want to prove your stripes. You want to prove that you still gangster and you can still roll with the big dogs. And this celebrity doesn't change you. This money doesn't change you. You can still kick it in the hood. Okay. But you gotta realize that you live on the hill. They still live in the hood. So it's nothing to them to set you up. It's nothing to them to rob you. It's nothing to them to extort you. Because when you done kicking in the hood, playing that you still in the hood, going to the liquor store, the corner store, whatever the case you do, you can still roll out in the Benzie and go back to your big home in the hill, gated community. They still gotta be in the hood. They still hungry. They're still starving. And you look like bait. So they're gonna go after you. They're gonna hook themselves onto you and deplete you. And people get greedy. Don't get it twisted. Judas was in Jesus' circle when Judas set Jesus up. For y'all who who Christian and whatever. And Jesus knew Judas was gonna set him up. And a lot of times it's the people in your circle who do you greasy. Because they're the one who's closest to you. I remember hearing a quote. I don't remember it all like that. But it's something like, your enemy, the reason why you're always shocked when someone betrays you, it's because it's always someone that you know. It's always someone that you know. That's why betrayal is so shocking or hurtful or whatever word that they said, is because it's always someone that you know. It's never a stranger. A stranger can't betray you because you don't know them, they don't know you. They're just the a-hole. But you can't say that's betrayal. It becomes betrayal when it's your cousin. It becomes betrayal when it's your right hand man. It becomes betrayal when it's your mother. Because you thought your relationship was strong enough that they wouldn't break and bend and fold and stab you in the back. But it happens. It happens often. And I named off people who you would consider family or people who are family. That does not include dude who lives in the projects and he's on the 12th floor and he's like, I'm tired of this Negro showing up in the hood like he's from the hood. He ain't about this. He hasn't been living in the hood since '08. But he still want to ride like he's that alive. I got some hot lead for him. He down? Let's see how down he is. Not everybody happy for your glow up. Not everybody happy that you successful. Not everybody happy that you made it. Not everybody. And yes, this includes black women. Though I preach about sisterhood, I preach about black girlfriends, I preach about black women coming together and bonding together. Just like I said in my previous live stream, I did on Friday, I believe it's called Cautionary Tale. Just like I advocate for black women to vet men of all races, because men have a propensity to be dangerous regardless of race. Even your black kings, because it's your black kings who are murdering you at a higher rate than anybody else. Okay? But you also have to vet the women in your lives too. Because there are toxic women around. There are women who literally sit and hate on you. There are women who are literally malicious towards you. Nice, nasty. Spreading rumors about you. Envious of you. Vicariously living through you. You gotta vet them too. And they may not be strangers or co-workers. They may be your cousin, your sister, your auntie, your mama. And you gotta vet and separate. When the reciprocal relationship ain't no longer reciprocal, you gotta cut that. When it's toxic, you gotta cut that. When it turns into a symbiotic relationship and it turns into a leeching, they become parasitic, you gotta cut that. But too many people let what they done did 5 years ago cloud their judgment on who they are today. For me personally, everybody every day has a clean slate. What you did yesterday does not count for what you did today or what you're gonna do today. So if yesterday you was A1 day one, but today you're evil and malicious, and I see that. I see that jumping out. I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting you off because my life is too precious for me to sit around and give you umpteen chances so you could really snipe at my neck. No. We cutting that off. Straight up. Yes, people are flawed. Yes, people make mistakes. True that. True that. But there's a difference between, all right, I was pretty itchy with the B. yesterday I apologize. I was going through some personal things. I should have handled it better. Please forgive me. That's different from, oh, you think you cute? You think you popping? You think you got it together? You ain't never gonna be ish. Matter of fact, I've been told people you wasn't ish. I never really effed with you. I've always thought you was gonna hit rock bottom, and I can't wait till you hit bottom. That ain't, oh, I'm a little off right now. My energy's a little off. Excuse me for being human. That's that person literally telling you they have ill will towards you. And it's up to you, the person, to be like, yeah, that don't mesh with me. N words are as loyal as the last time you fed them. And some get greedy even after you fed them, and they think, why should I get 30K when you worth 30 mil? I think I could do 30 mil better than you do. I think I deserve 30 mil than you do. And they kill. I mean, we've all heard stories about people getting gunned down for pocket change. People losing their lives over iPhones and Jordans and whatever the hell else. People die for the most minute things. And it's not necessarily because I want what you got, but it's more so I hate that you got it and I don't. It's kind of on the same toxic, twisted thinking of, if I can't have you, no one else can. If I can't have that, you can't have that. If I can't have that, you won't have that. If I can't have that, I'm taking that away from you. So you got to get away from that type of energy. Because those people will set you up for your downfall. And I said before, not on this platform, but I said before, nothing humbles a person like sickness and death. Nothing humbles a person like sickness and death. You all types of rah, 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 rah until you got terminal cancer. You types of rah, 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 rah until you 6 feet under. Nothing humbles a person more than sickness and death. Period. Third and final subcategory. Geez, I was talking so much, I think I forgot my third subcategory. I talked about checking your words. I talked about, people being as loyal as they the last time you fed them. Okay, the third one I believe is that you are allowed to change. You are allowed to change. And what I mean by that is, at one particular time in my life, from 26, I was eating baby food. At 26, you're not going to catch me eating baby food. Why? Because I'm grown. I don't need that. I don't like that. I don't want that. I've changed. At one particular time, I was wearing training bras. The way I'm built, a training bra can't do nothing for me. At one particular time, I had a curfew. I'm grown. I come and go as I please. So, if you get to grow developmentally, then why can't you grow and evolve socio-economically? Meaning, why does keeping it real and being real thugged out and being hood and trill and gangster and all these other adjectives can't include, well, now that I got money and I got success and I got opportunities, I'm gonna evolve and live somewhere where it's safer, better education for my kids, no food deserts, no police shootouts, no drugs on my stoop. I don't even live in a stoop. I own my home. Why doesn't evolving and being real include you glowing up social economically? Because if, and I'm gonna put it into the atmosphere because I do want this to happen, I become a multimillionaire. I don't really care to be on some like 500,000 not 500,000, but 500 million type of thing. Like, I don't need to be that wealthy, but I could breathe without having a panic attack. I could look at my bank account without me going. I'm not gonna live in the hood. You can call me bougie, you can call me elitist, you can call me classist, you can call me whatever you want. That doesn't mean that I'm not still gonna care for black women and girls. Doesn't mean that I'm not gonna care about social issues that affect poor black women and girls. I'm always gonna care about it. That's my stomping ground. I'm always gonna care about it. Period. But that doesn't mean that I too have to suffer in them circumstances to show you how much I care. Because I can't help you if we both in the same situation. It's like when you take a flight, right? You get on the plane. They always tell you on the flight, hey, if this plane crashes and we going down, this is the vest you got to put on yourself. This is the face mask you got to put on yourself. Get you right first. Don't be jumping to the next person beside you and be like, oh, let me make sure you're safe. Let me make sure everything's on with you. Let me make sure everything's properly put on you. Meanwhile, you setting yourself up to die, essentially to die. So you can't help other people if you ain't right and if you ain't stable. Prime example was like in 2014 or 2015, J. Cole, his old family house in North Carolina, he turned that into a program where single mothers and their children can live in the family home for, I believe, if not free, significantly reduced pricing. And I think every couple of years, a new set of children and their mothers come to live in this house. It is his property, so he runs it the way he wants to. If J. Cole was still in Fayetteville, North Carolina, struggling crunchy bumpkin with aspirations of becoming a rapper, do you think he could actually do a program like that? Do you think he could actually help single mothers? No, because he still needs help. So why is it that there's a problem with leaving the hood? Thank goodness, call it classist, elitist, whatever you want to call it. I never was raised in the hood. I've been to the hood. I know people in the hood, but I never was raised in the hood. And I don't say this to knock people who are from the hood, who was raised in the hood. I don't do that to knock. But let's be real. No one in the hood wants to be in the hood. No one in the hood wants to live in the hood. You might like the neighborhood. You might like the familiar. I'm tripping. It's familiar to you. You like your neighborhood. You like your neighbors. You like things that are familiar to you. You like the historical aspect about it. But you don't like the negativity that comes with it. You don't like the bodegas with the cats on the goddamn food. You don't like the smell of piss in the stairs. You don't like the dope boys selling dope in front of the stoop. You don't like the cops every other day expect the gadget. You don't like the dudes who are on the bike like they goddamn Meek Mill riding up and down at any hours, any day, anytime. Because they ain't got no job. You don't like them blasting music until 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, let's be real about it. You don't like the fact that it's a food desert. The only food that you can get is rotten fruit at the bodega that the cats sit up on, or processed foods, chips, sodas, candies, nothing that's actually nutritious and healthy for you. So why is it that keeping it real can't be, I don't have to live in this situation no more, so I'm getting up out of here. But I'm going to still try to do good so the next kid who comes out of here is not just me and then that's it. It's a few other kids. I'm gonna put some money into school. I'm gonna put some money into after school program. I'm gonna put some money into some sports. I'm gonna open up a little maybe after school program, or what's that thing? Summer youth work program, or something of the sort, or I have a cookout annual, or something. Why does it have to be? I still gotta be in the hood. I still gotta do crooked stuff. I still gotta be gang affiliated. I still gotta sell dope. I still gotta do all that. Had Officer Rick Ross of the Florida Police Department talking about how he's the biggest boss thus far, taking a moniker of a real drug dealer that he has no affiliation with, creating and recreating this whole mysterious faux background just to perpetrate as something that he was not. He's never been. Why can't keeping it real be? I've outgrown this. I don't do this no more. That's not me no more. There was a particular time in my life. I don't I don't reject that. I don't hide that, but I've grown. Bruh, I got kids now. Bruh, I'm in a serious relationship now. This ain't for me. This is not my stilo. I'm good. And I want you to be good too. But because that's not the thinking, you're not allowed to developmentally grow. You're not allowed to grow economically, yes, but socially, no. You get stuck in a box, even though you have umpteenth options, and now you find yourself hanging around with people who have built-in resentment because you're successful and they're not, and they plot on you. Then you end up like Nipsey Hussle. I have no personal ill will towards Nipsey Hussle or anybody related to him. I mean, honestly, rest in peace. I don't. Like I said, I don't really do with death. I don't really do death. I don't really do Black Death in particular. I'm not really with it. I have no ill will towards the man. I don't wish nothing harmful to his family or anybody who's ever loved or cared for him. I hope they find some type of peace, some type of justice, some type of closure. But I wanted to make this live stream not necessarily as a cautionary tale, but the things that you could learn from Nipsey Hussle's murder and his a part of his life, because his whole life wasn't just his interesting affiliations and where he came from, but a part of his life was also his transformation. I mean, he's not the only rapper who has been sniped while they were transforming. I mentioned Tupac. I remember there was a rapper in Georgia, and at the time I thought he was the cutest thing ever. His name was Dollar, Dolla, and he was gunned down around the same time Michael Jackson, was found dead. It was in May. I remember because my birthday happened a week or two earlier. I want to say the 25th or the 24th, but I'm not sure. Dollar was gunned down in a Georgia mall. And the crazy thing about it is, Dollar had a song. It's called Georgia Nights, I believe. And he predicted to the T how he was going to die. No different from Tupac, no different from Biggie, Life After Death. He predicted to the T how he was going to die. He predicted that he was going to die in a hail of bullets. It's going to be a bad night that day that he died. He was going to die young. He predicted his mom and his girl crying over him. He predicted all of that. And it became true. And when he died, child, I was hurt. I was hurt. When I tell you I was praying for his win. I wanted him to succeed. He had songs with Lil Wayne, Make a Toast. He had a song with T-Pain, I believe. Who the is that? Child. I listened to his mixtapes. Some of y'all might be listening to this and be like, I don't know, I can't relate. It's fine. Child, I liked him when I was in high school. Moving on. You may not know him, but if y'all watch Ratchet Television, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta specifically, if you remember Scrap DeLeon, who was dating Tommy Lee, remember he went to prison for some weed stuff? Dollar was best friends with him. I think when KK, the mom, I don't know, she's still on the show or whatever. When they first introduced those cast members, the first couple of minutes they talked about Dollar, and they talked about how he was an intricate part of their lives, and rest in peace. But I say all of this to say is that he's not going to be the first artist. He's not the first artist, obviously. I named artists before him. He's not going to be the last artist to, like I said, where's the spirits? To create his reality, create his downfall, have the type of energy of people who's sniping for him, and not grow out of his circumstances. Rappers talk all the time how they're hungry and they want to make it out the hood and they don't like this and they don't like that. But as soon as they get the money, now they just chilling in the hood. And like I said, I understand that it's familiar to you. It's a sense of community. Like I get that, but you can't be sick and try to cure someone else. You can't be in the hood and be in the toxicity and try to help others. You gotta show and prove and set the tone, and then come back for those who need it, who deserve it, who you want to push up. So I can go on and on and on about this, but I don't want to. You get the gist of what I'm trying to say. Again, um, rest in peace. Rest in peace. I want to read this quote because I remember this when I remember this when I was a teenager and I was going through some things. um, hmm. I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up. But okay. I used to remember this by head. I want to try to remember it by head again. It goes, watch your thoughts for they become words. Watch your words for they become actions. Watch your actions for they become habits. Watch your habits for they become character. Watch your character for they become your destiny. So remember that quote. And also remember, words do shape your reality, and they are spirits. People, I'm not going to say N words, people are as loyal as the last time you fed them. And sometimes they're greedy. And you are allowed to grow developmentally as you are allowed to grow socially, economically. And keeping it real does not mean that you have to stay in the hood, stay in a toxic environment, stay where you are hated. So, shameless plug right here. Um, the latest podcast episode on this Black Woman Vibes YouTube channel is Struggle Love. Check that out. If you have ever been in Struggle Love, which is all of us at one particular time, or most of us at one particular time, check that out. I give 5 clues as to how you can tell if you're in a struggle love relationship or someone trying to present you struggle love, and how you can firmly reject, block, and delete that and continue prospering without having to be a mule and try to build this man up for another woman to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So go check out that podcast episode that's on this YouTube channel. And Black Woman's Vibes podcast is available every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern on Libsyn, Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and wherever you listen to your podcast streamings or your music streamings, it's there. Check it out. The upcoming podcast episode for this week coming up will be about Black girlfriends. I reference, you know, Issa Rae, Insecure, but also, you know, Joan, Maya, Lynn, Tony of Girlfriends, and how that was influential to us, and why it's important to have Black sisters, Black girlfriends, women like you who empower you, who look out for you, and how you can create a healthy sisterhood. I talked about vetting. Now you can decipher which ones are the ones you want to be friends with and which ones you want to keep at arm's length, if that. So check that out when that is released Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. The mission statement for Black Woman Vibes goes, Black Woman Vibes focuses on empowerment through resourceful, informative guests, data-driven podcast topics, and exclusive subscription services that promote a shared experience of Black Woman Vibes. If you want to do any advisor emails, speaking engagements, private live private live streams, consultation services, all of that can be available on my Facebook page and my Patreon. So, isn't it time for Black women to live and live well? Be the best version of yourself. by mastering yourself. I am your hostess with the mostest. So let's get to toasting. VC name. Signing off.